The anime begins with a classic description of a vampire. But it zooms onto our main character Staz, and he is raging at a video game. He says he loves Japanese culture so he would never feed on humans. He then introduces us to the demon world. He says he is a really busy guy, then gets 2 phone calls, one trying to order food which pisses him off, and another by one of his friends called Des, saying there is a human woman, which shocks him. He asks Staz what they should do as she is trespassing in their territory, but Staz fantasizes about her and orders them to bring her to him ASAP. He is very nervous about what to wear and do when she arrives, but they end up arriving when he looks pretty goofy. He swiftly pushes Des out of his room so he can get some alone time with her. The boys outside discuss how Staz is acting weird, but some weird flower guy approaches them trying to sell stuff. They tell him to leave as he needs permission to sell goods from the boss Staz. He asks to meet Staz but they say he is busy, so he decides to get violent. Staz is rizzing up the girl, but he is interrupted by his boys saying they need help. He of course says he doesn't want to help and hangs up. She tells him that he should help his friends, and he is passively rizzed up. He proclaims his love for her and says he will protect her and do anything for her, so he agrees to help his friends. He jumps out the window, and whilst he is falling, we can see a plant climbing the building. He sluggishly walks towards the plant guy. He then instantly destroys all the tentacles and grabs his heart. He squeezes it, causing it to pop, killing the guy instantly. He returns to his room to see the plant from earlier. It spits out bones, so Staz attacks it, revealing a school uniform. It's clear that the plant killed the girl. However, to everyone's surprise, the girl is still here, but she is now a ghost. He makes a blood oath to bring her back to life. But he's clearly switched up after she died, now not caring about her anymore. Her name is also revealed to be Fumi. She remembers how she got to the demon world and takes Staz to a black curtain. Staz says it's a portal to the human world, and it might be dangerous for her to go through it. So they meet up with a friend to check if Fumi can safely travel through the curtain. They use some third eye magic to check Fumi. They conclude that it should be fine if she doesn't stay for too long. He tells them that he's going with her, but this is dangerous for the territory. Des arrives and brings a recruit, so Staz decides to make him the new boss. He touches his shoulder, and he turns into him, so they decide he will pretend to be Staz whilst he is away to keep the territory safe. Later they have a party. Staz drinks a lot and decides to go to the toilet. Whilst he is away, Fumi questions whether Staz is serious about bringing her back to life, but Des reassures her that he will follow through. They arrive at the black curtain again and proceed to go through. The portal leads to Fumi's bedroom, which is surprisingly empty. Staz decides they should go to her school. On their way out of the house, they see Fumi's dad. He's pretty angry that Fumi disappeared, so Staz sprays him with his spit to make him calm. They go outside and he tells Fumi that demons need to move carefully as humans and their technology are stronger than demons. On the way to Fumi's school, Staz acts like a tourist, taking pictures of everything. He's taking pictures of the school, but Fumi warns him that he is drawing a lot of attention, so he decides to spray his spit on everyone. Fumi goes to her class and speaks to her classmates. She becomes depressed, realizing that Staz has filled them with fake memories. This makes her feel distant, so she starts crying, but Staz interrupts her and tells her that she is disappearing. Staz bites his finger to draw blood and tells her to suck it to prevent her from disappearing. She sucks his finger, and he tells her he will be her personal blood bank. They decide to go back to the demon world because Staz is starting to feel weak. When they arrive back at Fumi's room, they are greeted by a woman jumping on Fumi's bed. She tells them her name is Hydra Bell and she is the owner of the curtain. She charges them 60 million yen for using her curtain, and blackmails them with the information of his vulnerable territory. He tries to fight back, but she uses Fumi as a body shield and orders him to get a specific item from a shop. He arrives at the shop and is greeted by an ogre who takes him to the back of the shop to get the item. Fumi and Hydra Bell start to bond, and she reveals that someone stole her curtain, and she now has no control over it. She says the person who stole it must be strong, so now she wants to find them and marry them. The specific item is revealed to be underwear, but to buy them he must prove himself, so the ogre punches Staz into a wall. He shakes it off and insults the underwear, which anger the ogre. He charges at Staz, but he uses a stare to stop him in his tracks. He then punches him. He's about to claim his reward, but Hydra Bell enters and says she doesn't want the underwear. Fumi tells Staz that she was testing his strength because she is trying to find someone powerful. She also reveals that she knows a book that can resurrect humans, but it's in the West Demon world controlled by a man called Wolf, who is Staz's rival. We see Wolf claiming more territory with his squad, and he tells us his ambition to take over the entire of West Demon world. He asks Hydra Bell if she can take them there, but she refuses, so Staz tries to force her. We see Staz unconscious back at the pub. Fumi tells the others that when he tried to attack her, he hit himself. He takes the animal and tells him they are going to West World. Hydra is spying on Staz and reveals that she doesn't trust him. They call a carriage to take them, and it's run by two large birds. They seem very uncomfortable inside the cart, and Staz reveals he brought the animal so it can find the safest route to Westworld. They reach Wolf and his two friends, but the cart isn't slowing down. Wolf cuts the cart in half, and Staz lands on Wolf's pipe whilst carrying Fumi. They go in to punch each other, but it turns out they are giving each other a handshake. They catch up a bit and appear to be really good friends. He asks if he can help them find the book, but he declines, saying it's too much effort as his territory is very large. However, he agrees when they make a challenge, and they agree if Staz wins he will help them get the book, but if he loses, he will give away Fumi. Staz says they agreed on bowling, which favors him as he has long-range magic, compared to Wolf's short-range magic. Out of nowhere, the event changes to boxing. Staz starts off by going in for a hug, but he is then punched very hard and falls to the ground. We see Hydra Bell watching in the crowd, and she is disappointed in Staz. He manages to get up at the last second. Wolf keeps on punching him, resulting in lots of damage to Staz, but his healing powers are keeping him going. Staz is being punched relentlessly to the point of him running out of magic. Just as Wolf is about to throw a finishing punch, he becomes dizzy and misses. He notices teeth in his shoulder and realizes when Staz hugged him at the beginning it was to drain him. Wolf has been draining his strength with every punch. Staz punches him into the air and slams him down to the ground. Wolf gets back up, questions his motivation, and transforms into his werewolf form. He says he is doing it for Fumi, but Wolf mocks him. He messes with his heart and is about to kill him, but Fumi slaps him. She starts crying and tells them to stop fighting. Hydra Bell also interrupts the fight and teleports them away. Wolf reveals that she was the one who changed their bowling match into a boxing match. She appears and gives Staz the book. They all check out the book, but none of them can understand it. They figure out that the book is written in a massive puzzle, so they need to find who wrote it. To Staz's shock, the author is his older brother Raz, and he lives in Demon World Necropolis. It's obvious that Staz is not a fan of his brother. Wolf explains how the necropolis is a place only the noble can go, but Staz can go there since he is a vampire demon from a noble bloodline. He complains about facing his brother since he was the one who left them. This angers Wolf as Staz almost killed him for the cause but is now too scared to face his brother. He also forces Hydra Bell to take them. He kicks Staz into the portal before it was ready, so he ends up in Hydra's room. Hydra says she wants to see his magic as it appears to be locked in a chest. He reveals that his older brother is the only one who can open the chest. We see a flashback where Raz is trying to unlock Staz's full potential. He does lots of experiments to try and awaken him, like electrocution, being fed to leeches, being frozen and being left out in the sun. But Staz found out he was just trying to kill him. His brother told him one day that he was previously trying to kill him, but now with this gun he doesn't need to anymore. He shot his heart, and the bullet limits his power, and only he can remove it. Hydra wants Staz to remove the bullet to unlock his powers, but Staz is surprisingly not interested. Hydra decides to show Staz what defeat tastes like to motivate him to get his powers back. They go into an empty white room, and she says she will make him admit defeat without doing anything. She teleports away and hides. This causes Staz to admit defeat. Back to the others, Fumi has passed out, so Wolf picks her up to take her to bed. But the animal notices that she is beginning to disappear. They reach Necropolis, but Staz doesn't care about unlocking his powers anymore, which angers Hydra. She decides that she will make a situation that forces him to remove the bullet. Staz is then seen sneaking around to avoid his younger sister Liz. But an axe falls in front of him, and Liz is revealed. Wolf decides to take Fumi to a mad doctor called Frankenstein. Liz attacks Staz and calls him an embarrassment to their family. She catches up to him and traps him in a circle before descending a massive hand onto him, punching him through the ground. He starts falling past many jail cells until he enters a cannon that fires him into his own jail cell. Wolf reaches the doctor, and he looks at her with curiosity. Staz tries to escape, but it's impossible, so he decides to push a random button in his cell. The button is revealed to be a challenge button, and it opens a wall behind him. He finds zombies on the other side and is taken out easily. Liz commands them to take him back to his cell. The doctor says that Fumi is combined with Staz, and he says the only way to save her is for her to fully consume Staz. Staz presses the challenge button again to the zombie's surprise, and he is knocked out easily again. We see Liz drinking hot chocolate, then her brother interrupts her. He asks what's happening and is interrupted by one of the zombies. They take him to Staz and Raz shoots him in the chest. The bullets helped him recover faster. He asks about the Book of Resurrection. Hydra appears and reveals that the doctor is lying, and they can save her another way. This pisses off Wolf. Raz says he will help him, but he wants something in return. The doctor says he wanted to combine Fumi and Staz to make a strong demon to kill one of his experiments. Raz also tells Staz about the experiment. The doctor makes a deal with Wolf that if they take out the experiment, then he will save Fumi. Raz says he wants to return his powers so he can defeat it, but Staz at this point, he would rather not have any more responsibilities, so he refuses. The doctor has medicine that will keep Fumi alive for half a day, so Wolf needs to act quickly. Raz explains to Staz that he managed to release his true potential, but every time he used it, he passed out. So, fearing his brother dying from using it, he decided to limit his powers. But again, he's not interested as it's too much effort. Not taking no for an answer, he tells Liz to command the zombies to kill him. Wolf arrives at the location of the experiment and finds the territory boss. He smacks him into a wall. A man opens the boss's stomach from the inside, killing the boss. This is the experiment everyone is fearing. The zombies chase Staz until he runs close to Raz, where he snaps the bullet out of his heart. This causes him to collapse. The zombies attack him, but since Staz is awakened, he evaporates all of them with just his glance. That's all for this video. If you want to see me continue this, like, subscribe and join my Discord in the description. Look out and take care.